What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your good little channel. How you guys are doing? I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you guys staying safe out there. And I'm gonna be sending you guys my lovers and prayers for the people that was impacted by Hurricane Ian or Ian from the hurricane that just happened. I hope you guys staying safe out there, and I hope you guys are just taking it time for you guys to relax and to get yourself together. So, guys, today I'm gonna be telling you guys what happened with me at Walmart. Okay, and I'm gonna be finishing off some of my little sugar canes I have here. Baby. Baby. Look, the baby. It's really good. I like it. Oh, so juicy. So, I'm gonna tell you. So, I got hired to work at Walmart, right? I got hired to work at Walmart. And as I got hired to work at Walmart, they said that the position I applied for, cashier, it was already fulfilled and stocking was already fulfilled. So I had to wait 6 months. So I said, okay, so I got the offer for meat and produce. So as I got the offer for meat and produce, I was in orientation and I was in orientation, and the guy that was supposed to work on the floor for meat and produce, he came in, I'll say like the third or the fourth day or something like that when I was in orientation, and he was like, oh, we need help like bad. You need whoever got the meat and produce, I need to see who they are. So he came and see me. So he was like, okay, so is everything fine? Okay. So I was like, yeah, sure. And after that, he was like, oh, we need you on the floor, so just take your time. So I said, okay, cool. A week passed, a couple days passed, and another couple days, then we end up on the floor. Ah, oops. As we end up on the floor, um, at first, I didn't know what to do. So I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him to tell me what to do. Look, guys, if you guys don't suck out your sugar cane like this, like where it's almost completely dry, you ain't doing it right. So, excuse me. So I was there. I was on the floor. So I waiting for him. He was introducing me to everybody, whatever. And he's like, "This is what you need to do." So I'm doing that, whatever. A week passed, whatever. In the same week, I saw the store manager again. So the first time I see the store manager is when I went to apply for it. Now this is the second time I seen her, and at first when I met her, she was real rude, but I just let it go because I was like, okay, whatever. This is the second time I see her. So now I'm on the floor. I had my shirt, I had my vest, and I had my badge, and I had the sweater. Like it was like a cotton long sweater. It wasn't that long. And she was like, "Oh, you're the new one." So I said, "Yeah, I'm the new one." And she was like, "Oh, well, you're the new one. Is your boss treating you right?" And stuff like that. So I was like, "Yeah, he is treating me right. Why?" She's like, "Because we just want to make sure you are comfortable." So I said, "Okay, I'm fine. If I need help or anything, I'll let him know." So he started to see me do things by myself because when I'm with the other employees, it's like they wouldn't give me a chance for me to do it. They'll literally take it from me and say, no, 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 you don't need to, you don't need to. So I'm like, bro, I have to learn. I said, let me learn. So as I'm there, that's the first week. The first week going on to the second week now, it was not what I was expecting. Look, everybody in the store, okay, everybody in the store is saying, yo, that new girl, she's new. She looks so small, but like she's from some type of island or something because you can hear an accent. Bro, yo, everybody in the damn store is like, yo, she's new. And then words start to spread. Words start to spread rapidly. Second week. So I'm there minding my business, do what I need to do, mind my business. Bro, the store manager walked up to me, right? I said, no, sir, no. So, so I was like, okay, I hear everybody saying the new girl, whatever, whatever. Now the store manager walked up to me and she was like, oh, this is like the 10th time I came and talked to you. So I was like, huh? The what? And then I said, I'm confused. And she was like, oh, this is the 10th time I came to you, talk to you about your vest. You're very rude, you're disrespectful. Do you want me to write you up? So I said, well, first of all, it's good morning. Second of all, this is the second time I'm seeing you, lady. This is not no 10 times. So what is he talking about? So she was like, oh, the sweater that you have on is fine, as long as they can see your shirt and your vest. I was like, okay, cool. Yo, I said, okay. And she said, go ahead and work. Yo, the store manager went back to my boss and told my boss that I was being rude and disrespectful. How? How when he was standing right there when you were talking to me, bro. This thing spread. It spread like wildfire. Okay, this thing spread so fast that I started to find out from everybody, even in the break room, even in the bathroom, like everybody talking about the new girl. I'm the new girl, right? There's another girl, but she's there on the floor during the day. No, they were talking about me, baby, because they were like, she coming from 4 to 1. Baby, you talking about me. So I started to find out a lot. Okay, I find out that they try to set me up for something I didn't even do. I find out that they try to get rid of me because they didn't want me there on the floor. So, mind you, it's all Spanish people on the meat and produce floor. It's Spanish people. It's some Haitian. I'm the only the other islander there from St. Croix. I was like, okay, cool. It's not a problem. I'm like, what's the problem? Yo, my youth. This is how I knew something was coming because I felt it in my gut. So there's a lady there in Walmart, 2 of them actually. They look after me and they were like, yo, watch yourself because I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. But they say, yo, let me go back and confirm because there's some shady shit going on that they know something is about to go wrong. Mind you now. This stubborn. Oh, this was a stubborn one. So I was like, okay, cool. Bro. Before lunch break, right? Because I work from 4 a.m. to 1 in the morning. Before I left, that's the second week, bro. Before I left, bro, I was like, bro, the Spanish girl would not even let me. There's a Spanish girl name there. I don't remember her name. She was like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. So I said, I just looked at her and said nothing. So, went back on the floor. Everybody saying hi. They're like, oh, you know, she's new. Let her get some time. Yo, it spread again. Rumor spread it that my boss was telling people that I don't want to listen to him. I'm very rude. I'm very disrespectful. I don't know what I'm doing. He don't want me on the floor. Mind you now. So, I don't want to listen. I was like, I don't want to listen. I said, no, you're lying. So, there's a lady there. It's a good thing I got a bag here. So there's a lady there. As I'm there with the lady. As I'm there with the lady looking at me, I'm looking back at the lady. The lady looking at me, I'm looking back at the lady now. The lady's like, no. And she realized that I'm the new girl, so she was like, damn. She's like, yo, just do your work, mind everybody's business, and do what you need to do. So I said, okay, cool. Bruh. This is the 3rd week now, bro, because I'm hearing a whole bunch of crap. Yo, my boss went back and told everybody, oh, I'm the new girl, and I don't want to listen. I'm disrespectful. I said, what on ya? So I was like, wait a second. So I was like, I called my mom. I said, Mom. She's like, what happened? I said, Mom, something is not right. Something is not right. And I feel it in my gut. Something is not right. So Mom was like, Sharon, what's wrong? So I was like, Ma. As soon as I said the second Ma, she already knew what was up. So she was like, just watch yourself, make sure you are okay, and watch your surroundings. So I'm doing that now. Oh my God. 3rd week. Second going on the 3rd week now. Boy, let me tell you, it all hell break loose. When I was off for like, I think 3 or 4 days or something like that. In the mix of my boss not being there, I keep trying to find the lady for orientation. She was never there. The only time when she was there, when I asked her, how long does it take for you to switch, what's that thing called? How long does it take for you to switch your job thing? Because I was like, I like it, but to me, it's like it's too much. It's like too much drama there. So she was like, oh, you're going to take like 6 months or whatever. So I said, okay, cool. She said, not unless it's like something urgent and your boss say, hey, switch her. So I said, okay, cool. So after my boss, right in between there, the 2nd and the 3rd week, my boss had to tell me I'm different. So I was like, what do you mean I'm different? He tried to tell me I'm different because his store manager came up to him and said, she saw me when I applied for the job, but then the second time No, she said the 10th time she keep coming to me and telling me about my jacket. So I was like, wait, I'm confused. I said, this is the second time I've even seen the store manager. What is you talking about? So he was like, are you sure? I said, you were standing there when she was talking to me. This is the second time I seen her. That's it. It's almost like what, 3 weeks I've been here? Almost 3 weeks. This is the second time I seen her. That was it. And he was like, are you sure? I said, yeah. He was like, maybe she's delusional or something. So I left it alone. So I was like, uh-huh. So I wrote down when the event happened, right? I wrote it down. So I said nothing. So she came up to me again, mind you, the second time, and she started pulling on my sweater. So she was like, oh, the first time I told you that you could wear your shirt, you could wear your vest, you could wear your badge, you could wear a jacket on your shoulders as long as they could see the badge. So I said, okay, cool. The second time now, she started pulling the jacket in, and she was like, this is the second time I seen her. She's like, oh, this is the 10th or 15th time I told you about this. You're very rude. You're very disrespectful. So I'm like, huh? And I was like, you sure you got the right person? Oh, I got the right person. Mind you now, I don't even know who she talking about because this is not the 10th or the 15th time she was talking to me. This is the second time. So I said, excuse me, but it's good afternoon. Because she just walked about the blue, didn't have no manners or anything. So I said, it's good afternoon. And I said, and I waited until she finished. And I said, first of all, this is the second time I'm seeing you, ma'am. This is not no 10 or 15 time me even having a conversation with you. What is you talking about? She was like, oh, you rude and you disrespectful. So I said, how am I rude and disrespectful? Oh, you're not going to answer the question? So I said, I'll wait until you finish for me to answer the question. I'm telling you, this is not the 10th or 15th time you came to me about nothing. This is the second time I'm seeing you. So my boss is looking at her like, no, this is the second time. She's like, no, this is more than once. He was like, how? This is second week going on to the third week. How? Bro, I was like, okay, I went in the freezer. Mind you, she's in the freezer. He would not let me go in the freezer to get nothing to put on the floor. So he finally let me come in after I took my 15. When I done to my 15, I came back. When I took my 15 and I came back, he let me come in the freezer. She's still in the freezer now because I know I seen her wet in the freezer, but I never see her come out. So I went back in the freezer, and he was like, "Oh, you're different from everybody." And I said, "How am I different?" He's like, "Oh, you're different. I don't think you should be working on my floor." So I said, "If that was the case, then why don't you go back to the lady that had me for orientation to switch me?" So I said, I'll be right back. So I went to go look for the lady. The lady's nowhere to be found. She was nowhere to be found. They were saying she was on lunch or she wasn't working or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. I said, I'm going to wait for the time to come. Bro. Yo. This man said I'm different and I need to be off the floor and he don't want me on the floor. Mind you, the store manager's in there in the freezer. He hear what he said. She never came out and said nothing. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to report it back to the lady. As the day went on, the store manager walking around in the area now. I was like, okay, let me try to avoid her and everything. So I left. I was out for 2 or 3 days and I came back. The boss was nowhere to be found. Went to the lady. She nowhere to be found. So I was like, okay, cool. Cool. So she's nowhere to be found. The lady for orientation nowhere to be found. My boss not there. The first day, everybody was doing what they're supposed to do. The second day, everybody was doing what they're supposed to do. Now, this is the third week. Now, let me tell you about this. Sorry. Whew. So, we're there, and I came in. Everybody had to do what they do. So, there's another girl there, and, she don't speak English. She speaks Spanish, so she didn't know what she was doing whatsoever. So there's another guy there. He keeps saying, "Hey, lady." So I called him by his name. I said, "You know my name. Stop playing with me. You know my name." So he's like, "Okay, cool." So as we in there now, everybody on the floor. I see the store manager again. So everybody was talking about what had happened in the morning. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what are you talking about? Mind you, store manager left already. So came back the next day. So there's another employee there. She don't speak English. She just speaks Spanish. So I was there, and as we were there, she would not let me put the stuff on the floor. So I'm trying to explain to her, like, listen, the stuff, you need the potatoes, you need the red potatoes and stuff like that on the floor. That's what they're mostly asking for. She's like, no, I refilled them already. I said, no, you didn't. I said, if you did, it wouldn't be empty. I'm telling you, it's empty. Majority of the stuff in the back is empty. She's like, no. So I'm trying to get the stuff. This girl arguing with me. I'm just there standing looking at the girl. I ain't even said one thing to the girl yet. So then another associate came in. He was like, oh, what are you guys doing? So I was like, oops. I was like, listen. I said, can you explain to her that I'm trying to get the stuff because there's nothing on the floor. The stuff needs to go on the floor. Yo, he started to say, that girl said. I said, first of all, don't call me that girl. You know my name. Because I call you by your name. Don't disrespect me. My youth, they start arguing back and forth because of what I said. And another guy, a guy from, Delhi? A guy from Delhi came in. He see them arguing. I'm just there standing like they're looking at them. He's like, what's going on? I said, since our boss been gone, she feel like nobody could tell her anything. So I was like, I'm just waiting for her to move the stuff so I could get the stuff. That was it. Bro. There was no team communication, no team nothing. Because she wanted to take all the credit. So now she and another employee started going at it. So I was just standing there. So I was like, I'm just waiting for you to move. She's like, oh, no, you don't need it, sir. Yes, I do. Sorry for the lightning, guys. So after that, I was like, okay, cool. I went on the floor. I cleaned up what I did. I went home. She wanted to take the credit for everything. Went home. Next day now, we're still in the third week. The next day now, this when it started to get really interesting. We was there and what's his name? Another employee and me was in that morning when she told us she scanned the stuff for the composite. So me and her, the one that wanted to do everything, me and her and another associate was there. So she scanned it. She said, hold on. So she told us to hold on for like 10 minutes and say, hold on. So we're like, okay, cool. We hold on. As soon as we hold on, she starts scanning them. So I'm like, okay, she starts scanning them. So when I tell her, hey, let me try to scan it, it's just something like a little scanner thing. You scan it and then you just press the red button to keep it or you don't keep it. So she told us to take it out. So we took it out. We did exactly what she said. So later on now, it's already 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. As we're there now, I see the store manager and another team lead came. So they were like asking people so they're like, hey, can you come to the back for a second? So I went to the back and the lady was like, okay. So me, the store manager, and another associate was there in the freezer. So she started to say, she's like, why are you disrespecting me? So I'm like, how am I disrespecting you? She started to say, oh, I'm disrespecting her because I'm wearing the vest wrong. So I said, if you guys want me to wear a bigger vest, I was looking for the lady for orientation. She was nowhere to be found. She's like, oh, but she's here today. So I said, well, everybody was busy today, so I wasn't thinking about that. She gonna say, I asked you if anything's been going on and you don't listen to me. So I was like, what is he talking about? And she's like, I'm talking to you about your vest. I said, my vest. I said, this is the third time I've seen you. This is not no 10 or 15 time I'm seeing you. What is he talking about? She's like, oh, you know you're wrong for that. So I was like, I said, what's going on here? She's talking. As she's talking, I'm listening to her and I'm answering her. Then she's like, did you know? I said, well, we took it out. I said, me and another associate took it out this morning because another young lady, she scanned it and we had to hurry up put the stuff on the floor. So she's like, do you know how to work this up? So I said, yes, I do. So she said, okay, she's like, let's go to the back. Mind you, we went to the back now. So the lady for orientation, she's there now because I'm looking for her now for a couple of days. She wasn't there. So the lady for orientation ended up in her office, whatever. So we're there. It's me, the store manager, and the team lead and the lady for orientation. So they're like, oh, you want a bigger vest, whatever. Then she's like, oh, this young lady is very rude and disrespectful. She didn't want to listen to me. She she feel like she could do anything she want to do. She talk about the rest. So I said, I waited till she finished, and I said, first of all, the first time you see me is when I'm in a plywood store. The second time you see me is when you said the vest was fine and everything. Now I'm repeating back to her. She's sitting there looking like deja vu. So then she's like, oh, this is the 15th time. So I said, if this was the 15th time, I would have been in the office already. This is not the 15th time. This is the third time I'm seeing you. This lady said, are you sure? Yes, sweetheart, I'm sure. She started to say in the office that that's not the only thing that I bring in the office because you're very rude, you're very disrespectful. Your boss telling me that you don't want to do anything. Everybody else, you keep arguing with them. So I'm like, how am I arguing with people and I'm just trying to get the stuff on the floor? Make it make sense. She started to say anything else happened around that time. Anything else happened around that time? So I said, well, there was an incident in there in the freezer, but I wasn't doing anything. I was just correcting them, and I was just trying to say, hey, let me get the stuff on the floor. She's like, well, isn't that the same disrespect that you giving me because you wasn't listening? So I was like, how am I not listening? So I was like, wait a second. No, now you're being rude because I'm listening to you, listening to what you're saying, and then I'm responding to what you're saying. I'm not doing nothing to you. She's like, oh, do you want your job? So I looked at her and I said, yes, I do want my job, but I'm not going to get in trouble for somebody else for what else they was doing. No. Bro. This lady said, I am not fit to wear the badge to work here. So I said, oh, really? So I said, well, you knew what my boss was saying the second week going on to the third week. She's like, no, I didn't. I said, you was in the freezer. She was like, oh, was I in the freezer? I said, you was in the freezer when he said he don't want me on the floor. You knew that and you hear him and you did not say nothing. And I said, when I said I was going to go to labor orientation, he said, no, he going to talk to her. So I said, no, I'm going to talk to her. So he get back now. Excuse me. So he get back now like, oh, you doing this, you doing that. So I'm like, what? So, excuse me. So I was like, okay, cool. Bro. Oh, I'm not fit to wear it. And the guy was like, oh, do you want your job? I said, I want my job, but I'm not going to get a job for somebody else wrongdoing. Again, I get terminated, guys. So like I was saying, I got terminated. They terminated me because the girl, I forgot her name, scanned the items for it to deposit, and then she told me and another associate to go out. So I was like, okay, cool. Bro, she didn't even question nobody else. She only questioned 4 people. Turn around, I was the 5th person. She had to interview 3 or other people more. Excuse me, that was there, because one was on the break, there was nothing to be found. The other 2 was on the floor. I get terminated for somebody else wrongdoing, bro, and I'm not fit to wear the badge. That's what the store manager is saying in front of everybody. So I said, first of all this stuff happened because the boss wasn't there. Then I'm hearing everybody coming up to me saying, hey, I don't even know who they are. And I'm finding out that people now I don't even know in the store is coming to me saying, hey, watch yourself. And she's like, oh, you sure about that? So I was like, are you sure about that? Because I could go get a couple of them and they could tell you. She's gonna say something about, oh, I'm inconsistent, or no, I'm consistent, I'm not work relatable, and all type of stuff. So I said, okay, cool, thank you. So I ain't said nothing else, and I'm just there looking at her, and I'm like, listen. I said to myself, I said, Shine, my name. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna even do this. I'm not gonna do this. So after that happened, the lady for orientation didn't say nothing. The guy for the one in the chair, the team lead, whatever, sitting down, he said nothing. So I was like, listen, there's more than one people coming up to me and telling me, oh, I need to watch myself. You know, and I'm like, there's a lot of people talking about me. I don't even know who is who. The whole Walmart know me. People in stock, people in produce, people in deli, pickup, everything. Everybody know who I am, and I don't even know who is who. So you're getting mad because I'm standing there doing my job. What? Yo. So they were like, oh, this investigation gonna be handled. So I said, what investigation? I told you already. The other lady scanned the stuff, and then she told me and an associate to take it out. So we took out. Okay, it was not good. So she was like, oh, you never told me you know how to work the thing. So I said, what work thing? She's like, you never told me you never know how to work the computer thing. So I was like, you mean the little scanning thing? I said, yes, I did. They showed me that, but I said, I never been in the freezer. I was supposed to be in the freezer. Nobody was in the freezer. I was supposed to be in the freezer. Nobody was in the freezer. I was supposed to be on the floor doing what I was supposed to do. Can't even do what I'm supposed to do because all the employees feel like, oh, they want more credit, which I don't care. I just want to go to work and just call it the damn day. When you look, you say you see me more than 10 times. You complain about me 10 times, which is, this is the third time I'm seeing you. Honest to God, this is the third time seeing you. Never had a problem with nobody. Never argue with nobody. Just go in there, do what I need to do. Good morning, good morning. How you doing? Okay, go about my day, and that's it. So I was like, and then I was like, to get hot. But my boss started to tell people that that they want to work with nobody, are very hard headed, and it's like I'm different. He don't want that type of different person on his shift, all type of crap. So I was like, so I left after they terminated me for somebody else's wrongdoing. I hear the store lead guy was telling the store manager, like, I don't think she just started. I don't think she would do all that. That don't make no sense. And the store manager was like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it as long as she's out of my store. So I was like, you know what? I said nothing else. And then as I'm walking down, I'm taking out my badge and everything. She's like, oh, you don't deserve to wear the badge. And I was like, oh, okay. So what I did was, I didn't even argue with the lady. All I just said was, God don't like ugly. Okay? He don't like ugly. So after I said that, I just walked out. And as I'm walking out, um, the two associates that always look after me since I've been there for orientation there, they was looking at me, they were like, what's going on? So I told them, they were like, no way. I'm like, yes way. And they were like, so it was true. So they was trying to get you off on the floor and they was trying to get rid of you. So I was like, it's okay, it's cool. I said, I explained to them what happened. They were like, no. So she gave me a number. I called the number to try to complain, try to tell them everything was going on and such and such. And after that, I just walked out. I said, God don't like ugly, you know. God doesn't like ugly because he don't sleep. And not so long ago, I went to the store and I see one of them, and they was like looking at me. I'm looking back at them. They were like, okay, mind you, we in the lane. We in the same aisle. So it started to get real creepy. So I was like, mm, okay. And they were like, oh, hi. And I looked at them and I said nothing. And they were like, oh, you know, you could come back. You know, you could just call some number and report them. And I said, listen, God don't like ugly. And I leave it as that. So yeah, guys, that was my experience working with Walmart for only 3 weeks. 3 weeks and all that crap went down. So it's okay. I learned from it, and I'm just gonna keep moving forward. That's it, cause I'm not gonna be doing all that. So if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, give it a fat thumbs up, and don't forget, it's your girl Lola, and I'll see you guys later. Aquafina, peace.